Hi, my sweet and amazing and beautiful besties. Welcome back to the Wholehearted Journey. My name is Meredith Hudson, and I'm sorry for missing last week. It definitely was a little bit of a surprise for me, if I'm being honest, because I actually had a really exciting podcast episode for you guys, and it just fell through. Long story short, I was in Georgia. I was with my brother and my older brother, and I was so excited because he was going to be my guest on my podcast. We both went through our weight loss journey together. I lost 120 pounds. He lost 135 pounds naturally. We both struggled with binge eating. We both struggled with our weight at the same period of time, like throughout our lives. Like, we went through all the same things together. His journey looked slightly different than mine. He kind of fell into a little bit of restrictive eating. He also fell into like intense like cardio and kind of the extreme of the extreme. He ended up gaining back, I think, like 80, 90 pounds, like after his first year when he was on his weight loss journey. Because of that, then switched to kind of more of like what I was doing. Anyways, it was going to be a very inspirational podcast. So that's going to just be for another time because, to put it simple, he just had a baby about 5 months ago. It was the very first time that I got to meet my little nephew, and I was kind of just enjoying my like moment of being an aunt, unwinding, unpacking. It was Memorial Day weekend. It was also raining so bad in Georgia, which was stunning. It was beautiful. Like, the rain in the trees was such a vibe. It's definitely not like raining here in Texas. Raining here in Texas is like the most boring thing in the entire world, in my personal opinion. But anyways, it was just like really nice. And so I kind of just told him, screw it, like, let's just do it another time. And I missed it. But I was kind of hoping that you guys were going to be probably super busy. And honestly, based off of that week, when it came to coaching and a few other like commitments that I had that week, I felt like a lot of people were, also in that place of just like catching up and so forth. So like listening to a podcast probably wasn't even on those minds, right? I'm so sorry for those who woke up and was like, the audacity, this girl. But then again, watch, no one woke up and like was excited for the podcast. Hey, honestly, I'm going to live in my like delusional like mind that's like, people wake up on Tuesday excited for this podcast. That's what I'm going to tell myself, because you know what? That's just the way I think. That's just the way I'm going to go about it. And if that's not the case, then like, who's going to tell me? A hater. And then am I going to actually believe the hater? No, I'm going to be like, you're a hater because people wake up and listen to my podcast. But if you also listen to this part, that means that you're listening to my podcast. So, case closed. You can't really prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so this week, I'm going to make it up for y'all, because this episode was one I came up with like 5 seconds ago. I was like really struggling between like 1 to 2 episodes, like ideas that I had that I woke up. Y'all know me. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I wake up and I let whatever like creativity comes into mind or what idea comes to mind. I do the same thing with content. Like, I literally have no idea what I'm going to be when I'm going to post that day. It's very rare for me to actually plan out content or create content ahead of time, to be honest. I personally like taking the approach of just going off of like what my heart tells me and like what I feel like people really need to hear in that moment. And so I do the same thing with my podcast. This is literally like just my inner thoughts, or just things that I have personally maybe had more conversations with when it comes to clients or friends or family or whatever. So this week we are going to talk about maintenance. We're going to talk about a few things about maintenance. The very first thing is, what is it really like after losing weight? What is like your life? What really like after losing weight? I don't know about y'all, but like that to me is an episode I would fiend for if I hadn't started my journey yet, or Mare like that was still going through her journey, or Mare that just like hit her goal. Like, what is life after losing weight really like? We're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the realities of maintaining a massive weight loss, or just weight loss in general. I'm going to talk about the mental challenges you face with body dysmorphia, especially if you're someone that's lost like 50 plus pounds. Like, that body dysmorphia is so real. I'm going to talk about how you approach nutrition and workouts after weight loss, and what I still struggle with 4.5 years into mains. What? Okay, literally, can we just clap for me? Please, just take a moment. Oh, thank you. Like, seriously, if you're like driving, just give me a little, little tap on the steering wheel. If you're walking, I want you to say, go mare, go mare. If you're washing your face, I want you to look in the mirror and be like, Mare, you are a queen. Because I know. This podcast is going to, this episode is going to hit. Like, if you are not about this episode and you're like, this doesn't interest me, like, I would be shook. It actually lost for words because, are you okay? Like, this would be interesting for me as someone that's like 4.5 years into mains. Like, if someone talked about their mains journey after a massive like weight loss, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm totally going to listen to that. This is the part that is not talked about enough. And to be honest, I really genuinely think it's because it's such a heavy topic. And I really feel like you're still going through the motions. Like, I still cannot fathom the fact that it's been 4.5 years since I hit my weight loss goal, because like genuinely, I might even still feel like some days that I'm figuring it out myself, to be honest. Like, it took me a while after mains to really understand like how to navigate this part. And now in my life, I have got it under wraps, but if you have been following me on the social media, you know I've gained a little bit of some weighty weight recently, a lot more good weight than bad weight, but like, and not all weight gain is going to be bad. It's seasonal. It happens. It is what it is. But some of this was bad, and some of this did come from bad habits. And we'll talk about that at the very end of this podcast. And I'm actually going to explain why that happened to me, because I haven't even talked about it. It's slightly, I mean, I guess I kind of did part of it, but there's another part that I just did not talk about. But both of the reasons why I fell out of my routine were really, really good reasons. And I think that needs to also be a episode in itself. So let's dive into it. Okay. What is it like really like to lose weight? What is it like after losing weight? Well, I will tell you, the very first thing you will feel is confusion. And it really, obviously, everything I'm going to say is like subjective. It's like going to be like from my personal experience. And I mean, I have had so many different experiences and got to live through so many different experiences through clients. And I think that when you're coming from a place of losing weight with a coach who, and again, I'm like a life coach. My team is like life coaching. So it's a completely different thing. We're not just like giving workouts and nutrition plans and like saying, just do it. We're like working through your mental health, your mindset. We're working through your real life. And so the entire time you're in my program and when I'm coaching someone is to prep you for life after. So it's very different. But I'm not going to say that every client I've ever coached that's reached their weight loss goal was just like in this happy, place and living their best life. No, some people were like me and struggled with like really accepting how much their body has changed. And it definitely comes down to like the amount of weight that you lose. I lost 120 pounds. Do you realize how much weight that is? That is like more than some people weigh. Grown adults sometimes weigh less than how much I weigh. It's so funny. There's a girl that I follow. Her name is Monet. She's the cutest thing in the entire world. Like literally, mwah, chef's kiss. She's literally adorable. And I bet the amount of weight that I lost is more than what she weighs in general. Like, cause she's an itty bitty petite little thing. She's a cutie. I don't know if y'all follow her, but she is so cute. Anyways, but I probably lost more weight than what her entire body weighs. So to put that a little bit into perspective, like that is crazy, but it's not just the fact that I lost that much weight. It's that my weight had always been attached to like my identity. I've always been a plus size queen, and I was a confident plus size queen. Like not my whole life. Obviously I struggled with confidence, like in middle school, elementary, middle school, high school. I didn't really find confidence within my body until I basically got to a place where I stopped trying to lose weight. And I was just like, it's impossible for me. Like I literally have tried my entire life to lose weight. And so it's time to just accept the fact that I'm just born this way. There's nothing I can do to change that. And once I got to that place, that's when I obviously started really accepting like me as just a plus size queen, bigger body bestie. And it's just like, it became a part of my identity. And so for a while there, I found like, I don't know, my sexiness within my curves. And I found myself like very proud of being a woman that is, proud to be in the skin and be quote unquote, like, larger and own it. Like I walked into every room with my chest held high and my head up, and I was confident as all get out. You could not tell me anything. If there was a stage, I was going to stand on it. If there was a moment for me to stand out, I was going to do it. Like that was just me. I loved that, honestly, that phase of my life. But obviously we all know how that story ends. I found myself at my heaviest, and I wish I could go back and at least, and I know just in general in life, if I ever were to, be plus size again, obviously the way I would feel would be completely different. I don't think that would ever happen again, being plus size. But just in general, if let's just say it were, I would treat my body completely differently than I did that then. But all I ate was fast food. All I ate was fried food. I didn't drink any water. I did not work out. I didn't take care of myself. So it's one thing to be confident, but it's another thing to genuinely take care of yourself. And you can be a heavier set and be plus size and genuinely take care of yourself. And that's something that I really do regret, not doing. I wish I did actually genuinely care about myself, but I didn't. I just didn't. But I didn't know how to take care of myself. But that does not dismiss the fact that I didn't intentionally try to take care of myself either. Taking care of myself looked very much like putting makeup on and dressing up and being confident. That was me taking care of me. And so there was just a lot, obviously, I had to learn in that season. But anywho, when I reached my goal weight, I was extremely, extremely insecure. And I wanted to crawl out of my skin. I honestly dreaded the fact that I had to go to social events, because I will say, when you lose a lot of weight and no one has ever seen you small, again, I've always been a bigger girl. So this isn't just oh, Meredith lost a lot of weight. I have never in my entire life, and I've known Meredith my entire life, I've never seen her small. And so it's shocking to people. People are literally shooketh. And so this isn't their problem. This isn't a bad thing they did this. I think it's just human nature. But when you are actively going through this, it is very weird to go to social settings and your body be the main topic in every discussion that you have. It is awful. It is awful. You would think, oh, yes, girl, I lost a lot of weight. You look amazing, this and that. But people are literally looking at you up and down, head to toe. You can't go up to someone and say hello without them looking at your entire body, because they're in shock. I hated it. I wanted to cry, and I cried at probably every event I went to for a while. No one has ever, I don't think anyone knows that. This is the first time I'm ever saying this. It was awful. And I just felt really, really icky. I didn't know how to dress my body. I felt large in everything that I was wearing. And y'all, I was 14% body fat. I weighed 136 pounds, which is literally, y'all, I think I'm 40 pounds heavier than that. Hold on, let me see. I weighed 172 this morning, 136. 36 pounds. Wow, that's crazy. Less than what I am now, which is wild. I had 23 pounds of body fat on my entire body. I am almost 5'8", bro. 23 pounds on my entire body. You know how insane that is? And yet I still was so lost in thinking that I was big, and every time someone looked at my body, I thought they were going to find something, wrong about it. And I didn't know how to dress. I didn't know how to feel comfortable in when I was dressing. And it was awful. But there's another part I was going to say about that. I don't know. I think loose skin obviously did not help at all. I went from always being a big chested bestie. My boobs had their own personality. They literally made they were the main character. To be honest, you think about it, when you are plus size, a lot of times you have big breasts, and Bessie's always talking about, girl, your girls look real good. And trust me, I made sure that my boobs were the main event. You know what I'm saying? Like in my outfits and stuff. It just like, I don't know. It's like, that song that I always say this song, but you make me feel like a natural woman. I literally have sung that on here before, but like that's how I felt. That was like my theme song. Like, you make me feel like a natural woman. That's the reason why I sing it all the time, is because I literally felt like that girl. I was just like, boom, woman, screaming woman. You know what I'm saying? And so like I had no boobs, like, and it's not the fact that I was flat chested. I was flat chested. It was the fact that I had drooping nipples that was like just really hard for me to get past. And so I felt like people could see that through my clothing, even though they couldn't. And I was really insecure about that. I didn't know how to dress myself or wear tops that didn't like show that. When it came to, wearing pants and stuff, when I wore high-waisted, I felt like you can see my loose skin, and you literally couldn't. My loose skin was so minimal, but you feel like it's so much when you have it on your body. And so when I was wearing high-waisted stuff or wearing clothing, I was so concerned that that's all people could see. And I think that also, if I'm being completely honest, I think that came from a lifelong, or that came from living a life of hearing other women talk so horribly about other women who have lost weight. Did I just drop a bomb? Yeah, I said it. Every woman, honestly, almost my entire life, there's this sense of jealousy. There's always been jealousy of women that lose weight, and other women being so salty about it. Like, oh, she looks so bad. She lost her weight so fast that she has, she just looks horrible. Like you can tell she's just really saggy. And just like, I just remember hearing other women talk about other women losing weight in the worst, most disgusting ways possible. And I knew discussions like that were being had about me. I just know. Rather that be like, oh, she's got too skinny now, or oh, she just looks horrible, or oh, she took it too far, and I will be honest, I did take it too far. I did. When I reached my goal, I was way too thin, and my face showed it. I did have like no meat on my face, but just in general, like, seriously, like I did it in such a healthy way. I might have went too lean, but I did not lose a single pound of muscle mass. And I know y'all know that. I talk about it all the time, but I did it in such a healthy way. And I literally reversed all these health issues that I had. Like, I genuinely like changed my life and did something that I thought was literally impossible. So, but it doesn't even matter. I just know people were talking bad about me. And I had some confirmed comments that people had said to me, like just saying in general, like, oh, I heard so-and-so say this about you. And so it didn't help the situation. So what it's really like right after losing weight depends on the person. It depends on the support system. It depends on the friend group. It depends on a lot of factors. And it depends on how thick your skin is. I will say I was not very thick-skinned. I was very sensitive. And I just didn't really know how to navigate a lot of situations. And I was just like super insecure and uncomfortable. And I just had no one that I felt like I could actually talk to that could relate to me, because at the time I didn't know a single person outside of my brother that lost 100 pounds. Literally not one person, bro. And so obviously got better when I became a coach. And I started like helping other people lose the weight. And then I started like mingling and making like really good friends with other coaches who have lost a lot of weight just like I did. And that's why a huge amount of my like best friends, like really good friends, are like weight loss coaches, because they understand me and I understand them in a way that like is so real and so raw. It's just like, it's hard to comprehend. Like, one of my very best friends lives in Canada. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, because she gets me and I get her. And so, anywho, so that's the reality of that. Now, the reality of maintaining the weight, it's a roller coaster. This is coming from an experience, again, my experience. I didn't have a coach. This is the very first time me going through this rodeo. I'm still learning, more and more about health and fitness and everything. Now I feel like a straight up like expert, but it was a journey my first year. And what did not make it easier was the fact that I got birth control. And I, of course, discovered that I had PCOS. So it wasn't just like I was navigating maintenance per se. It was more of I was navigating something that I think a lot of women go through, which is navigating your body and your hormones after getting on birth control. Some people get real lucky on that. I'm not lucky. Some women just, it really depends on your situation. Like if you had a pretty consistent cycle when getting on birth control, then more than likely you will have a really good experience getting off birth control. If you were someone that already had a period that was irregular, like not consistent, a little bit all over the place, you are probably not going to have the easiest journey getting off birth control. Don't let that scare you, because trust me, the longer you wait to face it, the harder it will be. And so I'm so thankful that I went through it, but navigating that my first year of mains was hard because there was weight gain that happened, a lot of inflammation, but there was definitely weight gain that came because my hormones were out of whack. My gut health, again, was in a bad spot too, which is, most of y'all know this, but because of H. pylori, it was just like a lot of different things going on. That wasn't really discovered in my first year, obviously, of mains, but because it took me a while. I waited a year before I even got tested for any of this. Of course, y'all know I had PCOS. This was before I was even diagnosed with PCOS. I assumed I had PCOS because I had every symptom that you possibly can. So it was navigating a lot of different factors, but maintenance still is not easy regardless of your situation the very first year, because you go from a mindset of losing weight to now it's like, oh, I'm now supposed to just maintain weight and live my life and that's it. Like, that's weird. You've always had a goal that in some way has motivated you to show up for yourself. You've always had a goal to shoot for when it comes to your workouts and when it comes to, again, your nutrition. Like, technically, when you're in maintenance, you don't really want to track calories and macros. You want to be able to just trust that you have learned everything that you needed to learn as you were losing weight about how to nourish your body. Like, that's kind of the whole point of calories and macros, is not just to help you reach your goals and lose the weight, ensure that you're, eating accordingly within like 100% within a deficit, but it's teaching you what's in what you're eating. Like, if I did not track calories and macros in my macros, I wouldn't know what was high in protein. I wouldn't have known what was like super high in sugar or that was high in fiber. I wouldn't know any of that. I wouldn't have learned anything. So like, literally, it's so intentional being able to understand like all the ingredients. Like, I can sit there and look at a banana, like I'm literally looking at a banana right now, and know exactly how many calories, how much sugar, how much like macros and everything is in that banana. And I can even probably tell you the banana that I'm looking at is probably 127 grams. Boom. Is that crazy? Like, so that is what is so magical about macros, is because it literally helps you know and it helps you dissect just your nutrition. It helps you understand what is in this and how does it support my body. You see what I'm saying? And so like, I personally, and this is just my personal opinion, I think every person who especially has to lose a large amount of weight should track macros. Now, obviously, some people who have eating disorders, this might not be the best advice. I think that obviously that you need to protect your mental health more than anything. And if you have fallen down like a rabbit hole with, almost having like this sense of fear when you're tracking your calories and macros and it's made you undereat or fall into more extreme things, then yeah, don't track calories and macros. Okay. I have coached actually a lot of people who don't track calories and macros with me, and we focus just on eating intuitively. It can make reaching your goal more difficult, but it's not impossible. I've helped many people hit their goal without it. It's just, we got to be really intentional on the way that we navigate things. And so anyways, there's a lot of different stuff with that. But when it comes to maintenance, you're learning now how to, one, not still eat in a deficit, but how not to overeat. It's how to understand based off of your activity level, how much food you should eat in a day. And it sounds more complicated than it is. But personally, when it comes to my clients, I have someone eat within their maintenance for at least bare minimum 3 months while still tracking calories and macros. I need you to adjust to no longer eating in a deficit and start eating appropriately within your maintenance calories. I also like to teach them how we understand this is your activity level and this is the amount of calories that you would actually try to shoot for and eat, or how much food you would try to eat to support your body. Obviously understanding your cycle and when your metabolism is revved up, you know what I'm saying, and you're burning more calories, how to support your body through that. And so there's a lot of like learning that still needs to be done when you hit maintenance. You don't need to go from, oh, I just hit my weight loss goal and now I'm no longer tracking calories and macros and I'm just like freewheeling it. That's kind of what I did. And I did gain some weight unintentionally because of that, which was good. I needed to gain weight. But I probably would have done it very differently. Not probably, I would have. And it's why I coach the way I coach when someone first hits maintenance. Some clients, if they do not take my advice, and let's just say they hit their goal and as soon as they hit their goal, they stop my program because they're like, hey, I hit my goal. I did what I wanted to do. I'm like, yes, you have free will 100%. I'm still going to recommend against it. They will usually message me quickly afterwards and be like, okay, so this is a little bit more confusing than I thought it would be, and I'm struggling with knowing how much maintenance calories I should have or how to navigate this and this. And so they usually come back and then we do maintenance for a little bit and I train them because it is a whole nother journey. Don't let that actually, I don't know, upset you or, scare you by any means, because it's actually a really fun journey. Like you get to up your calories, you get to eat way more, you have even more energy, your strength improves, the way you feel in your workouts are different. You literally it's enjoyable, it's fun. It's just, you don't want to just free willy it, go straight into it, because what happens is people tend to naturally eat way too low and they continue to lose weight, or they can sometimes eat way too much and fall into old habits because it's a big mental shift to go from losing weight to now maintenance. So sorry. My fridge is freaking out on me. Ugh. I don't know why that just made me mad. That fridge doesn't make any sense. Honestly, I think someone watches me through the fridge camera and stuff, because low key it does some stuff on there that I'm like, what is going on? What is happening? So anyways, back to my point here. So yeah, realities of maintaining the weight, it's a learning curve. And that is probably my best advice when it comes to navigating at first, is track your calories, macros, understand your food. Really get a feel of things before you even think about just eating intuitively and walking about, life again. If I'm being completely honest, like I said, I jumped from straight into not tracking calories and macros anymore. I gained some unintentional weight and then I went back into the deficit. I ended up literally losing all my weight, gained weight, then had to go back into a cut, lost weight. And then I was so scared to not track calories and macros and gain weight again that I ended up tracking calories pretty much for a whole nother year. Stupid. I know. And so obviously once I had a full year of maintenance, true maintenance, that's then, and of course, I was navigating PCOS. It's a long, complicated journey. I did not have the funnest intro into maintenance, but it is what it is. It all worked out. And now I'm in the best health of my life, not my leanest, but the best health of my life. Okay. Period. Literally actively on my period that I used to only get 3 times a year. Now I get every month. You know what I'm saying? Flex. Okay. PCOS queen with managing symptoms and a healthy cycle. I know. Pop off queen. I know. Thank you. Anyways. So how do you approach nutrition and workouts afterwards? Now, I kind of dabbled a little bit into nutrition. These kind of questions kind of blend in together, to be honest. Wait. Yeah, these questions do blend in together. Not me getting like ahead of myself. I already answered the majority of these. I answered the nutrition part. Let me think of like the workouts. The workouts afterwards, like they pretty much like stay the same. You can have a lot of fun with it. You can start adding in just like different things. You can actually unpack your workouts a little. I mean, it just really depends. I think your workouts too. Okay, I guess I can't answer this. For a while, I wanted to like just continue to build and like really continue to shape my body. So I always had like a goal. I was lifting really heavy. I was doing all these things. So I was constantly chasing after some physique goal, and that was really fun. It was really nice. But then I reached a point after so long that I was really like, I'm really, really, really happy with where I'm at. Like I feel really good in my body. And I've been at that place for a very long time now. And I kind of just do what I want. I know. I kind of got burnt out on having like such a strict plan to follow. And yes, I would recommend to have a strict plan to follow. But for me, I'm not trying to be like athlete, fitness, like physique model, whatever of the year. Like I'm not trying to do competition shows. The whole point of me losing this weight was for me to become the healthiest version of myself and to have a true lifestyle change where I was happy and healthy and thriving and doing me. And that's exactly what I accomplished. And so like my workouts might not be the most structured thing in the world. And I might listen to, what do I want to do today? Leg day, upper body day, Pilates, hiking, swimming. Like that's really my reality. And I've been at that place for a very long time. I will say I am actively, as of this week, stepping into a more structured workouts because I do have a slightly of a goal. I have actually personally gained 7 pounds of muscle mass this year and 5 pounds of body fat. So my weight is up. I have not been in the 170s in years, but 7 pounds of muscle mass this year alone. I've never gained that much muscle mass like that quickly. So obviously I have been eating and obviously I have been training, and I kind of want to take full advantage of this like weight gain in the sense that I've gained this much muscle. I have gained a ton of my glutes, and my glutes have got so strong, and everyone keeps talking about my glutes lately. Obviously when I gain weight, it does go to the booty too. So it's probably not all muscle. Like I definitely have some softness, I can tell, on my glutes. And usually they are more hard and muscly. So it's like kind of a blend between fat and muscle to BH. But I want to take full advantage of this gain. And if I drop 2 to 3% of body fat, I'll probably be sitting in a pretty good spot. But again, I'm honestly just having fun with it. Like like I said, I've tracked for so long that I necessarily don't really have to track. I'm kind of tracking some new recipes just to see where it falls and so forth. But for the most part, I'm not really tracking. But I am having more structured workouts just because I am wanting to do that. My big goal is actually a baby. So I am actively about to start trying. This is hopefully, which would be insane, my last period. That would be iconic. Me and my husband are officially trying for baby number 1 in 2 weeks when I ovulate. So that will be insane. So that's like goal number 1. That is where I'm at, like as a personally right now. I don't know if something happens like within the next couple of weeks that changes my mind on that, but like I am ready for a baby. So I'm technically in this season that's like, I want structured training. I want to feel really strong in the gym. I'm making a few little changes within my nutrition, but I'm not really shooting for a insane cut right now. I'm really focusing more on baby. If I have a little bit of some changes within my, physique, and maybe I don't get pregnant right away, which is, could be a huge possibility. This is my first go around doing this. Hello, what the heck? Then that would be what it is. But I made a post the other day and people were like, Meredith, you can be healthy and get pregnant. And I'm like, y'all, I don't think y'all understand what I was trying to say. Like shredded to me means like getting to a lower body fat percentage and being shredded. That does not mean healthy. Like I am the healthiest that I have ever been as of right now. When I was joking and saying that I didn't recognize myself in videos, is because I am thicker. I haven't been, in the 170s in a minute. Like it's been years since I've been in the 170s. So I'm a little like in my thicker era, but my clothes have been tighter. But this is genuinely probably the most healthiest I've been in like, I don't know how long, like ever, literally. And so, yeah, it's not my leanest, but I can promise you it's probably my healthiest. And so, yeah, that's where I was at. But I understand the confusion on that because in the video I was, talking about not locking in. But y'all were like, Mary, you can be healthy and be pregnant. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. I coach a lot of pregnant people. You guys, like, obviously I know that 100%. I love y'all so much for that. But that's no hate. If you said that to me, literally, that's no hate. That's not me being mad or anything. But I was like, oh no, I worded things so horribly. And I hope my pregnant clients were like, what is she talking about? That's all I could think of is because I have a lot of pregnant clients. I have a lot of people who come to my program and get pregnant. Like, let me just say that. But I have a lot of people who are pregnant that come into my program too. And so I bet everyone was like a little bit confused. And then I felt bad because I'm like, oh, I totally worded that wrong. But shredded means low body fat percentage. That means like abs showing, like getting really, really low. I am at a low body fat percentage. I'm 22%, but shredded meant more like 17, 18%. That's more of like low body fat percentage. If you feel my drift here, that's abs, like abs and so forth. So anyways, that's a long story short here. Now let's talk about what I still struggle with. This is our last topic of this video. What I still struggle with. I still struggle with feeling like I have to make changes to my body. And I think that every person that I have ever met, like especially a coach, I don't know if this is just like a fitness coach thing in general or not, probably because we do this for a living, but like I feel like I always have to change my body, which is a big issue that I ran into with being like, I don't know if I want to get pregnant or if I want to get shredded, because like in my mind I feel like I always have to do these extreme things of changing my physique. If you were to literally look at my body in the last 5 years, 6 years, like I started my journey, 6.5 years ago. If you would see from the day I started till today and you went through all my videos, you would notice how much my body has changed. My body literally changes all the time. And it's because I always feel like I have to change it. I'm always doing a bulk, or I'm always doing a cut, or I'm always doing this, or I'm always doing that. Like my body has changed so much because I'm always changing the goal. I will intentionally do something to build more glutes or build a back. Like I've done so many different things of just like gaining and losing and doing this because I have a goal that I shoot for. But that is a fitness coach in me. I think it's hard not to fall into that when you are a fitness coach, but I don't know if this is something that you can even relate to if someone's listening to this that has experienced maintenance and is like no longer, trying to lose weight, but you're like, well, I want to change my body, and then went through maintenance and for years and have also maybe fallen into that and you're not a fitness coach. If that's the case, please let me know. But I've just personally noticed that with me and a lot of my friends. It's just like we're always like trying to shoot for something. And I have kind of come to a place of feeling like that's almost more unhealthy than healthy. Like I think there's obviously like times that's going to happen. Like I'm going to do that. It's going to be a thing. But I think that I need to sometimes like really reflect before making a decision and be like, do I really want to do this, or do I feel like I have to do this? Like, am I doing this because I feel like I'm better or I'm more worthy if I'm this amount of weight? And that's kind of was my big thing for this most recent one of getting shredded. I felt like it was trending that everyone was getting super shredded and getting like itty bitty, not itty bitty, but like fit looking. And I ain't really fit looking, but I'm not like cut and super like shredded. I'm strong and you can tell I got some muscle mass, but shredded is just more of like just a different look. And I feel like a lot of people were doing that, and it's summertime and I'm like, oh, last summer I was super shredded. And so anyways, I fall into that, and that's a negative thing. That is not a healthy mindset versus me being like, ooh, I have this goal. I really want to do this because I want to, not because I feel like I need to do it because the crowd is doing it. You feel me? So I still struggle with wanting to always change my body and feeling like I have to, always following trends just because of that. So, because once you teach yourself that you can change your body and you can lose weight and you can do this and this, it kind of becomes this like addiction, but you also kind of feel like you have to do it. Does that make sense? It's so weird to describe, but I definitely think it doesn't help being on social media, like a public thing, figure, whatever you want to call me on social media. That doesn't help. I feel like me, if I was back to, Mare, who didn't do social media, was just a hairstylist, like doing her just Hair by Mare, which was literally my name, Hair by Mare, which is funny because now I'm Get Fit with Mare. But I don't think I would fall into a lot of these things. And so I don't notice this with any of my clients. I don't know if I have, unless they just haven't told me, but like, I just don't see that because it wouldn't be like this. But like, most of my clients, when they get to their goal, they're just so happy with them at the goal. And they just, years of just like living the lifestyle that they've worked so hard for and this health that they have. And it's not like they're doing this thing that I have fallen into where I'm like feeling like I have to, but again, it's probably, I don't know if it's because I'm a fitness coach or not. So that's personally what I still struggle with. And I think everyone's different. Maybe some will relate to this, some would not, but I don't know. I think that's it. I think hopefully this was, I don't know, a good episode. I felt like they all kind of intertwined with each other. So I'm so sorry for that. And I kind of just ranted a lot, and kind of talked a little bit about myself a lot. But it's kind of hard to talk about this and not talk about myself. You feel me? So I'm sorry. I bet y'all are listening to this and be like, Mary, this whole podcast is you literally talking about yourself. Ew. When you say it like that, it's like, ugh, Anyways, well, I want some ideas from you guys. I feel like I've been slacking here on the pod, but I want to not slack anymore. I really want to step into things. It's freaking summertime. I know I'm 31, but I'm still like a 15-year-old at heart. And I'm like, it's summertime. We're going to have so much free time. We're going to do this and this. And I'm like, nothing's going to change for me. I'm literally going to be just as busy as I am during the fall and everything else. But it's still summer in my mind. And so I want y'all, I'm hoping, what I'm trying to say here is I'm hoping that y'all actually do have more free time. Even though like, it feels like I do. I feel like I just have more free time for some reason during the summer, even though that's not real life. But I hope that y'all have more free time, which means that y'all can listen more to this pod. Y'all can go on some hot girl walks. You can go do anything. You're just driving to, I don't know, your friend's house to go swimming, and you can listen to this podcast. I will say one thing I do, and I don't know if y'all do this too, is that I actually listen to podcast episode a lot when I am getting ready. So when I'm washing my face and I'm putting makeup on, that's usually when I listen to podcasts. So that is a good idea. If you struggle with sometimes listening to this podcast, but you genuinely want to listen to it and it's just hard to sit, maybe try that, because that's the only way I can get in my favorite podcast is by doing that. I really love to use that time to educate myself or learn more about something that I'm interested in and so forth. I listen to a lot of podcasts, but when I'm working out, I really like to listen to my music, So I think it really comes down to you. When I drive, obviously, sometimes it's music, sometimes it's podcasts. So anywho, but make sure that y'all save, like, follow, comment, do your thing. Send this to a bestie who you want for the restie. I really do appreciate y'all doing that for me. Seriously, I'm not trying to be that girl, and I say it every podcast, but sometimes we gotta be reminded. I can't tell you how many times I listen to a podcast and I never comment on it, and I be loving it, or even subscribe to it. The audacity. So anyways, I love y'all. Oh, hopefully y'all like my new hair. Let me know. I am a brunette now, which is so cute, slight. But I love y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.